Hey, limited series for March, April 2016. And look at this, Ed. Here's a few selections that we just did recently, and I hope you're enthralled by the selection and the quality.
You know something? Like most of your other selections, there's nothing here.
But we're moving, folks. We're going to new digs right down the street from here, and we are opening. The Wine Month is opening our new facility, but it's also going to be a restaurant, food, coffee house complex. Though I'm not going to get in the restaurant business, but we will have our neighbors. The city's asked me to develop this wine bar, the whole thing. Hope you come visit us, and we are moving next week. And I suppose the whole project will be running in about a year. So it's great to have you here, Ed. And so 40 years ago,
the Wine of the Month Club for April of 1976 featured two incredible wines. One was the 1971, yes, folks, the 71 Merlot from Louis M. Martini, and the other one was a household word, at least in my word, and that was the Frontignan from Kaiser Stuhl.
Thank you, Don Pardo. Frontignan, which is, I remember the name on the label.
I'm trying to remember what it's like. It's kind of like a Riesling.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know. It might be a distant cousin of Riesling. As is Paul, by the way. He's a distant cousin.
Well, yeah, Riesling and Kalemkiarian, so.
Yeah, sure.
Hey.
One of my favorite wines that we featured all year, right here. This Galevan Côte d'Or.
This is our friend Claire Bilroy. She's a French wine importer. She grew up in Champagne. And we have a Champagne special coming, folks. She brought in, just for us, a special brand from her neighborhood. But this is, we did the Chateau de Pop, right? We did the Chateau de Pop as a special. And this is their...
That I don't know, because that wasn't...
this nose is so classic.
This could be Chateau de Pop, you know. Woman winemaker, Corinne, I forgot her last name, that is kind of, forging ahead for women winemakers in Europe, which are becoming more and more every day. You know.
I get tobacco, I get the gaminess, I get the Syrah, I get the blueberry, I get everything.
It's killer.
It's
killer
extremely
wine.
complex.
I mean, $35, which is about half the price of Chateau de Pop on the shelf, but then you can buy it for $15.99, which you can't touch any Chateau de Pop for, and I'm doing a 96. I think this wine's delicious.
That is a really good value for $15.99. It's a Côte d'Or. I'll match that 96. This is way past any Côte d'Or I've tasted in the last 5 years, quality-wise.
Well, we've done a couple that were phenomenal. I'll tell you that right now. We've done a couple.
They've become thinner for the price.
Sometimes, yeah.
They become thinner for the price. All right, this is my friend Dave Vergari, who doesn't live far from here. You maybe want to rinse your glass after that bomb of a Côte d'Or. So he's been so kind. I love these wines. This is a former Culbertson's wine. He's the winemaker. He lives around here, and he's actually entertained some friends recently. Very dynamic guy, but he makes good wines. And this Zinfandel, he brought me the Zin and the Tempranillo, and I like this one a little more.
The wines have definitely gotten better. I don't know. He hasn't been the winemaker there very long, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Wow. And this is, what's fun about this is Cucamonga.
Yeah.
With I wonder if it's, what's his name?
The crazy man. Crazy Italian guy.
Because, he's got like 200 acres.
Yeah, well, it probably is. I don't think there's too many vineyards out there in Cucamonga that aren't owned by the crazy man. We'll think of him later. Yeah. Anyhow, a lot of those wines have some really off flavors.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Right, yes.
And I don't know whether it's a soil or it probably is a soil, but it's also they don't know how to deal with it, I guess. But this wine is completely devoid of that. If you'd have told me this wine comes from Sonoma and costs $25 or $30, I'd have said, "Oh, sure, no problem." But Sonoma, the fact that it's $15.99 and the reorder price,
Sonoma would be right on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
very
not
much.
the Lodi Sierra foothills, jamminess.
It's cool climate,
right.
But it's not a cool climate.
No,
So either there's a little microclimate somewhere, or it's they just know what they're doing. But
it's got a really long finish.
It's got a great finish. It's still there. It's a beautiful wine. I'm going with 96.
Oh. Ooh. Really good. Really good.
And now for the Bianchi, the Vintners Bianco, which is yours.
I'm on Entre deux Mers. 2014 Entre de Mer. I think it's Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc. I think it's a blend.
And Muscadel. Don't forget the
Muscadel,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of Muscadel in this. I think it's like 20% Muscadel, which you don't normally see. Which
don't
means
see it.
it's going to be pretty fragrant. Muscadel is a very floral grape.
It's Bordeaux from Entre de Mer in between Eurovan. In between the river. Oh wow, what a nose!
Well, that nose is all
You know
Muscadel.
that is Muscadel.
It's
Totally,
all
yeah.
Muscadel. Because
That stoniness.
the Sauvignon Blanc and the other one, and the Semillon. The Semillon's a little richer, but the Sauvignon Blanc there get really high and tight, really high in acid.
But you know what? I give a winemaker a ton of credit because the balance is great.
Beautiful, absolutely perfect. You know, they did a nice job. A lot of times they only put like 3, 4, 5% Muscadel in there, but in this case, you know, to richen it up a little bit, it was obviously pretty lean. Either a cool climate or a cool part of the vineyard, who knows? But who cares? It's, you know, it's a $35 bottle of wine and it's $13.99 a reorder.
This is really special.
It's delicious wine, and I love these wines too. I think these wines are just fabulous.
Grand Vin de Bordeaux.
I'm doing a 98.
I go 97 just to be different, but it's really good. I love the color too. It's sort of that Pinot Grigio color. It's a little gray.
Nice.
The Muscadel really adds that character, you know.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's killer.
Watch this.
I'd rather not. Wow, these guys are really interesting. Keller, husband and wife team, very wealthy. I think they lived in San
Is this
Francisco.
from Castellani? No.
Pardon?
In 2009. Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like it's got age on
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
It doesn't smell like it's
remember
got
it.
age on it. It's pretty amazing.
I remember the one I flipped over it.
Delicious.
I know why. It reminded me of Alsatian aged Alsatian wine.
It really does. It really comes off that way,
The
which
fruit
is shocking.
component is amazing.
Because this is Napa, I believe. No, it's Sonoma Coast.
Sonoma.
Yeah, Sonoma.
Who did I get that from?
I don't know. They don't tell you on the back.
But I love the nose.
Yeah,
I love the nose and the finish and the.
The entry is terrific. Lots of fruit. Really, really nice big.
But that age, the bottle age, is really giving it a complexity.
Yeah, but when you consider that it's 6 years old and it's Pinot Gris, I mean, they don't last that long. And you're not getting any burnt orange. You're not getting orange peel. You're not really getting any oxidation whatsoever.
Wow.
We just tasted some 2013s that tasted older than
Yeah,
this.
we did actually a few minutes ago.
So anyway,
This is a 97 for me. I just think this is a great
yeah,
example
I'm
of
96
education.
just to be different.
It's an education of, aged. The other day we did. Don't we have a wine coming up next month? It's like a 2008.
Ooh, wow. What is it?
I think it's a Tempranillo, and I just kept saying I can't buy a 2000. And it's just so
But
good.
is
I
it
had to buy
Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, 2008 was a phenomenal year in Spain. I mean, those wines will last forever.
Wow, this is so good.
So anyway, yeah, I'm doing a 96. You're doing a 97, and
Right.
that's our show for the limited series of 2016.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Thanks for leaving.
I can't wait.